Let's talk about Crystal Lake, which is the new Peacock TV show that is based around the Friday the 13th movies and lore, and will actually focus on Pamela Voorhees. And this is a show that I've been excited for ever since it got announced. A24 is attached as well. It will actually be premiering a preview of it at TIFF this year, which is pretty exciting to hear as well, that they have a lot of confidence to premiere it at a film festival as well. Now, we got the teaser a couple of weeks ago. I've been meaning to talk about it because I've just excited for it, but I was doing a lot of stuff, moving and all that. So we were finally able to sit down and really talk about what this teaser means. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We talk movies, TV shows, and all the things you love. Make sure you follow us wherever you can as well, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or Letterboxd, all provided on the screen. Let's talk about Friday the 13th, or should I say Crystal Lake. So Crystal Lake will star Linda Cardellini as Pamela Voorhees in this very exciting adaptation that's coming to us later this fall, more specifically October 19th. I believe all the episodes will be streaming. So it will be an 8-episode drama that is produced by A24 for Peacock, and it is going to come to us from Brad Caleb Kane, who also did the horror prequel show on HBO, It, Welcome to Derry. So the show will focus on Pamela Voorhees, who raises her son Jason, and eventually we see that Jason does drown as he does in the Friday the 13th lore, and this adds more to her pain that she feels throughout. And she is working at this camp, and you know, she had dreams, she had aspirations, she wanted to be a singer, a star, and ultimately she's not able to fulfill these dreams, and that's what the series is going to explore, according to Brad Caleb Kane. He says, "We wanted to dive into Pam's psychology. We wanted to see her unraveling after watching the events of the movie that everybody knows. We wanted to see her relationship with Jason and what his death kicks off in her trying to find some sort of equilibrium in her life after the thing that ostensibly she lives for, her son, was taken away from her, and how all the people around her and the circumstances surrounding her make that impossible to do." So it's really a character piece. And based on the trailer we've seen, we do see Pamela Voorhees trying to sort of make amends with things, trying to work at this camp, and it doesn't seem that that is going to be something she's going to be able to do. As we start to see things start to happen around the camp, and of course, I think all eyes will shift to one person. Now, if you've seen the original Friday the 13th movies, you do know that in the first one, it pretty much is Pamela Voorhees who is behind a lot of what's happening, and I think that's probably what we're going to see here. I'm very curious if this is a one-off show or not, and where exactly this takes place, if it tries to sort of emulate what we've seen from the films already, or if it's doing its own other thing. Because do we see Crystal Lake season 2? I just, right now, as of I'm recording this and looking at this show and knowing what we know about Pamela Voorhees, I just don't see how this goes for 2 seasons. But being an 8-episode drama, I feel like there could be a lot that sort of gets explored within a couple of seasons until we eventually see a big reveal of sorts. Does Jason ever appear here? I feel like probably not, because the whole thing with them trying to make a Friday the 13th film as well, I think things get sort of convoluted there. So I feel like we probably see that they just do a thing where maybe it gets teased, but it's ultimately Pamela Voorhees' show. And as Brad Caleb Kane says, this is a character piece, so Pamela has to be front and center. So Linda also talked about playing Pam to The Hollywood Reporter, where she says, "It just seems like something that I had never done. I haven't seen many female slashers like that. To dive into who she might have been, I thought, well, that's something I've never done." And I'm really liking the production of the show from what I've seen already, from the stills, from the teaser and all of that. It really looks like they are trying to dive into something that feels very classic 70s slasher, at the same time also giving it such a different feel than just your typical slasher as well, where you can feel the warmness and all of that from Pamela, and ultimately seeing her descent into this madness that this tragic event caused for her. I think it's going to be such an interesting thing to witness, and I'm very excited for this show, honestly. And I definitely see the allure of it premiering at somewhere like TIFF, where we see a lot of these like great movies go on to receive awards, and I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see Linda Cardellini, especially if A24 is involved here. They usually do take a good amount of risk, but at the same time they really are taking care of making sure the story is told right. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for this show, Crystal Lake. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. So synopsis for the show also teases this: when 2 strangers arrive at Pam's door digging into her past, a disturbing chain of events is set into motion, leaving the townspeople of Crystal Lake wondering, just who is Pam Voorhees? Brad Caleb Kane also talked about how this is going to feel like a mixtape of genre. He says, if you follow the timeline of the franchise, Crystal Lake should take place in the 50s. And by this, he talks about changing some things in the lore because Crystal Lake should take place in the 50s, but he's actually making it be set in the 70s. He says, I wanted to touch on all of the pop culture artifacts that were tangential to the America from which these movies were born. The ABC After School Special, the era of the paranoid conspiracy thriller, the debut of the feminine mystique, even the martial arts genre, which if you grew up during that time was basically a whole personality. He also says that the show actually does feel camp at times. The tone is odd, Cardinelli says. It is many things at once, but it works as this fun ride. There's some scenes set in an outdoor carnival, and I feel like it's almost that feel. So I'm very excited to see what exactly this is going to be like, but just from the sounds of it, it sounds like they're taking big risks, and I hope to see a high reward for that. So pretty much from what we get from the trailer and everything that they discuss, it seems that this is pretty much taking place a year after the drowning, but we'll actually see pretty much what happened before that. And pretty much, I'm just going to say pretty much a lot. But no, in all seriousness, I really do love that they're sort of exploring the backstory of Pam, who she was before all of this happened, who she was during it, and who she is after, as this takes place a year after. And I wonder who these strangers are, what exactly they're trying to do. I mean, it's not like they're trying to make a podcast, or maybe they are back in the 70s, right? Or just doing a report or something. But I do believe that this is going to be such a great take on the character. And I think that there's a lot of interesting areas they can explore here that is going to make for such a wonderful, show. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this is going to develop and where it's going to lead us to. And I think this is a great way to sort of bring new life into this lore of Friday the 13th that kind of has been feeling a little bit forgotten, but hopefully this brings it back full front center. Or would you have just preferred to see a Friday the 13th movie? Although we are apparently getting that still, I think that is definitely in the works. So we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. But as always, that is going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Make sure you follow us wherever you can as well. Whether it's here, you're hitting that notification bell on YouTube, but also TikTok, Instagram, Letterboxd as well for other things we probably won't post around here. And you want to be in the know of everything you need to know. And as always, I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.
Someone put a curse on this town. It all started when that kid drowned last summer. There's something in these woods, and all it knows how to do